Fight!
Listen.
You're a wizard, Harry.
4!
Why so serious?
3!
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
We have a Hulk.
2!
Show me your moves.
I'm Groot.
1!
We're losing our deflector shield. Don't trap yourselves in. I'm going to make a jump to light speed.
Go!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Hi.
to the Random Fandom Show.
Hi.
I'm Matt Muich,
I'm Josh Muich.
I'm Nick Vittorio.
and Adam's our sound guy.
Hi. Hi.
And this week's guest, we have Sarah Welly.
Hey, everybody.
Welly.
Yeah.
Buddy.
We'd like to give a special welcome to any new incoming
Listeners,
randomites.
yeah, anybody who wants to follow us after last week's episode, which was awesome. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it.
Yeah, check out all of our previous episodes because they are great.
We swear.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're so much fun, you'll want to sit at home and listen to nothing else.
Nope. All right, for those of you who are joining, who are new, you may know that our rundown is the news, the movie review, the nostalgia trip, and the faux shows. But this week has been crazy. It is a leaky weekend, so to speak, because holy crap.
Holy cats.
Holy cats.
Yeah.
Meow.
Anyway, leaks galore, trailers galore.
Releases
so-
galore.
Releases galore. Blah. Okay.
So that means that this week we're just going to talk about news and then go into our main topic.
And the news is just trailers.
Basically trailers.
Because, good gracious, is it great to be a fan right now.
Isn't it?
We got like trailerfuls of trailers.
Oh my gosh.
I like that. That was funny.
Adam's jealous.
Yeah.
All right, first up, Ant-Man.
Yay!
Saw it?
Looks pretty good.
Looks
pretty
pretty
good. Not
I will
gonna
be
lie.
honest, this trailer made me decently... I don't want to use the word excited, but intrigued.
It's one of those movies that if they make it really well, I think it could be a pleasant surprise. You know? I don't know much about it yet, but it looks pretty good. Kind of sad that it's not Hank. It's a personal thing.
Yeah, it's weird. but-
See, now, I think that it's good that it's not Hank Pym, just because they need to start doing these other sort of starts for these characters. We know the origin story, especially if we're following it, and I think it's more interesting if you do something new, something different, but yet callbacks to the originals.
You know, I appreciate that. I wish that Wasp was in it. I was always a big fan of Wasp.
She may still be, though, right?
I
She is.
I think there might be like a start of getting to know who Wasp is, but not like they won't become Wasp, the super person.
I love that dynamic. I love the dynamic between Wasp and Ant-Man. It's what kept me going in the Marvel universe. I was a big fan. Hopefully they do justice to that.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
And then it'll just be via, like, callbacks to the originals and stuff like that in the comics. But it's going to be it's a heist film, if anything. The one thing that this trailer showed us is it's going to be very comedic. Go figure, Paul Rudd's in it. But my favorite scene of the whole trailer was the little Thomas the train engine.
See?
And it's filmed like trying to be all epic and serious, but it pulls back, and then the train falls over.
Right when I saw it, I'm like, I wish they would have saved that for the movie, like, for when we're in
Oh
the
no,
No,
they
they
need that.
need that.
They
No,
need
I
that.
know.
They need it.
I know, but
go.
But I still thought that it would have been much better to see that first in the movie theater.
I
But
think that
hope,
there's gonna be a lot of those hidden like
I hope so. That's what that got me in. Yeah.
punny things. Hopefully.
So before I said I was like, what was it, 6 times more excited after I saw who...
I think you said 5.
5.6.
All right, but now I'm like 100 times more excited to watch it since I saw the trailer. So
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was low expectations from the start, so...
I think it's gonna be sassy. There's some sassy lines in it. I appreciate that.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should be good.
I liked one of my favorite parts was him going, my days of breaking
Yes.
into things and stealing stuff they're over. And he's like,
you
so what do you want me
What
to
do you
do?
want me to do?
I want you to break into some place and steal
stuff.
It's perfect.
It's awesome. Good job, Marvel.
The one red flag that it is for me is that there's a lot of CGI because I mean it's a miniature scale, and
yeah.
I know, but compared to one of the next trailers that we're going to be talking about, I like
Right,
it's just me.
right.
It's a hit or a miss.
Right. We'll see how it goes. So
Yeah.
far, it looks pretty good.
My expectations are low. Low.
All right.
Moving on.
Fantastic Four.
Fanatic 4.
This one I was genuinely surprised for because I absolutely hated the first two Fantastic Fours.
I didn't
They
hate
are
them, but I don't
awful.
remember them. Yeah.
They're
Was it like the
awful.
acting or the
All of it.
Okay,
I-
all right,
I
fair
was
enough.
okay with
Casting
the
was
first
awful.
one.
The effects were awful. Doctor Doom is stupid.
I guess.
Oh my gosh.
Me coming
Jessica
into it,
Alba, I'm sorry.
You didn't like Jessica Alba in it?
No.
Oh, I thought she was great. I mean, I thought
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, back in 2001.
That's what we're talking about.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm excited. I like the youthfulness of it. I like the changes that they're doing. They're making it fresh.
I really like what they're doing with it. Yeah. We talked with
Apparent-
Dan right before we came here, and we were like, some of that looks like super genuine. They have way better, I think, actors for this film.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
hands
the
down.
the tone is very like serious, and I really think that's what it needed with the like Doctor Doom character, because I mean he's supposed to be all about Doom, so
And he's also
Wait, Dr. Doom's about Doom.
extremely powerful, which they did not utilize at all.
not at all.
Extremely powerful. And it's like everyone's impression of Doctor Doom now is all of that crap that went on in the first two. And then don't even get me started with the Silver Surfer and Galactus. Galactus being the giant cloud of doom. It wasn't even Galactus. Stupid.
It was pretty cheesy, not gonna lie.
That giant Play-Doh suit that they stick what's his face in for the thing.
No,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
He looks so much better in this.
This is where CGI is used well.
Mm-hmm.
They did a good job making everything look like rocks.
Yeah.
Plus, they need to have the public forget Chris Evans was actually in the first Fantastic.
Right.
I mean, I think it's a nice cover up for that too. Yeah.
And then another thing I've been hearing a lot about, and it's pretty easy to see, is they're going for a different approach with it. It's not necessarily like a superhero film. It's more of just a sci-fi film. So these people, the way it's being described and the way it's being portrayed is it's a freak show. You know, that's what these people are. And that's really the way it should be because they are. You know, this went through this horrible accident and now they're all young in this film too. So I'm interested to see how they play off that aspect of it. It should be interesting. I'm genuinely excited now.
Me too.
'Cause when I heard they were doing this, I was like, no, please don't revisit that.
After seeing the first teaser trailer, I still wasn't excited, but after seeing this trailer, now I'm excited. Now I'm going to pay money to see this movie.
Another thing, the comedy in it, it looks like it's well placed.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Yes.
Just the right touch.
And it's not like super over the top humor. It's small little things that are just so funny.
Subtle humor.
Next, we have the Rogue One leaked trailer. So Star Wars Celebration happened, started on Thursday.
Teaser, not trailer. Teaser trailer.
Teaser trailer.
You have to make sure that nowadays.
Not really.
And
It
it's
doesn't
going to be
matter.
tough to find on YouTube.
Let me just say, I don't like leaked trailers. Like, I understand people of course I understand people wanting to see things before. I mean, we want to see them as fast as possible, and that's our culture today. We have no patience, but the patience pays off because then we get to see how, it's supposed to look in HD on YouTube, and when these companies want you to see them. There's people they hire for marketing for it to come out at a certain date that will cause the biggest stir. When they're going to gain the most fans, the most attention, and people undermine that, stupid.
It's all calculated, and then when something gets leaked, that whole thing is derailed.
ruined,
and,
yeah.
But
Screwing things up.
if you haven't seen it, it's basically just a shot going over a canyon forested canyon, and then it turns up a little bit, and you see a TIE fighter kind of fly over, and then you see a moon on the horizon, a giant moon on the horizon, and then the trees blocking it, and then it comes up more, and it's the Death Star.
That's no moon.
And this entire time, the original from Episode 4, New Hope, Obi-Wan's original monologue about like the Clone Wars and the Empire rising to power,
So
that's playing over.
Actually, Alec Guinness's voice.
Right. So that's what the teaser trailer is. But we know now that it's confirmed that this is about a group of rebels stealing the plans for the Death Star, and that Felicity Jones is a rebel in it. She's not any other character. She's not any other alien that we know of. She's a rebel soldier. And so this is just from the sounds of it, it sounds like more warlike, more troopish, like
creepy. It's got an eerie touch to it at the end when you hear those radio signals of these soldiers or whatever they are, just screaming and terror and stuff like that.
What I heard is they were basing a lot of like the feel of it off of Saving Private Ryan, and so
there you go.
Yeah, it'll be in that kind of field of like war movie.
Yeah, but this will be like,
but with Star Wars,
it'll be a little bit different. But a lot of people liked the.
I was gonna shame you.
A lot of people liked the war aspect of the trench fighting from the Clone Wars of the series. A lot of people like that.
That's what hooked me as a kid.
And so going into this, I think that's bringing it back, and I'm really excited for it now. And we'll see how bounty hunters play into it too, because that's what Star Wars originally had it titled as, was the Bounty Hunters movie. So we'll see how that plays out.
Really?
Uh-huh.
They're not doing the bounty hunter.
Well, they're having one based off of Boba Fett.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they are.
No, it was Bounty Hunters, Solo, and Red 5. Those were the three. And so this was the Bounty Hunters one.
Oh.
Yeah. Josh, you should
I
really have listened.
I thought I
you should have listened to our episode 2, because that's what I
remember
said.
seeing.
Wow.
I wasn't paying attention.
Won't even listen to our own podcast.
Were you gonna say something, Sarah?
No, I was just.
I mean, but
Sound
we
effects.
don't know entirely, because I mean they said that one character is in this, and then they gave a small synopsis. We don't know. Hopefully, Boba Fett and some other bounty hunters are in this movie.
What do we know? It's just a leak.
Right. And then also at Star Wars Celebration, the Star Wars Battlefront trailer.
Battlefront 5.
No, Battlefront. It's called Battlefront.
Just Battlefront.
I know.
The trailer came out, and it was actual game engine footage. Obviously, it's not going to be like the cinematic views and camera work and stuff, but that's the same graphics that you're going to get in the game. And so
Really? Wow.
yeah, it said actual game engine
I
footage
thought
on
they
it.
said there's going to be gameplay. And when I didn't see any gameplay, I was like,
We now know that's coming out September. We also know that it does tie into the new Force Awakens movie. I'll
like
talk about that.
everything does.
I'll talk about that when we get there.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
But yeah, Battlefront looks amazing, and everybody's super excited for it.
I've been excited for this for a long time because that was probably one of, if not my favorite PlayStation 2 game.
We now know
Played
that
that constantly. Elite Rifle, Air Day.
we now know that you can play in both first person and third person. You can switch whenever you want during the game. Also, you play on most of the planets that we saw in the original trilogy. Also, we get a new planet called Sullust that you see in the trailer. It's got like gray landscape and then like red lava, rivers of lava in it and stuff. It looks really cool. The team that designed the game, they went first of all to the archives and took pictures of all of the original props. So they used those to design the game around. And then they also went back to the original sets. They went to Iceland and like the redwood forest and the deserts and stuff. They went back to all those places to get the footage that they wanted to base the game around. You get to play as some really cool characters. You get to play as Boba Fett. You can play as Darth Vader and stuff. I don't know. You get to see that. I don't know how this is going to tie in with everything, but it's going to be awesome.
This is my thing, though, is I wanted to see the new Battlefront either encompass everything like Battlefront 2 did, and then have the stuff that will be in the next movie, because when is this coming out?
November 17th.
So it's before...
yeah, about a month before
Right,
the new movie.
that causes problems, but even still, like, I wanted new stuff. Like, I don't really want to go back into the original series and play all that stuff, because I could already do that in Battlefront 2. Granted, not as much. and I'm sure there's new stuff in it, but it's like I just wanted new things.
Then on December 8th, the first DLC is the Battle of Jakku, which is
in the new.
It's referenced to in the new movie.
No, it is
It is?
basically the new movie.
Because I don't know if like this will be like before parts of the movie.
Obviously, this is when the Galactic Empire was still at large.
But the Battle of Jakku.
Yeah, that's right after Battle of Endor. It looks awesome. I'm excited.
It's
It's going to be for the new generation consoles, so PS4, Xbox One, and super expensive laptops.
Well,
Not the Wii U.
Buy a new
Aw.
system. I have to go buy a new system so I can get Arkham Knight and now this. That's great. Thanks. The video game companies.
Well, to make Nick happier, we're going to move on to the next trailer.
Okay, so just let me cut loose on this because, like I said before, I hate leaks, and I don't like them for those reasons. When I first heard about this, that they're releasing the trailer on the 20th, which is tomorrow, which is April 20th, depending on when you're listening to it, that's when it was supposed to be. And it was supposed to be like an IMAX special. It's going to be like a 15-minute event. So they're going to do the trailer along with extra footage added onto the trailer, an intro by Zack Snyder, and then whatever else they're going to put into it that made it 15 minutes long. And that'd be so sweet to go see. But I was initially just like, I don't like this though, because why wouldn't they release it with Mad Max like they're originally going? Well, I guess that was speculation too. But I liked that marketing better because you're away from the Star Wars thing. It's 2 weeks or so after Avengers, so people are going to be in a craze about that no matter what. But it's just going to be like, hey, Avengers was great too, but look at this. But then they leaked it, or they announced it. They showed the teaser trailer, and I was like, oh, dang it, I guess I'll watch it. And I was just like trying not to smile because I saw the new Batman suit, and I was like, okay. So that being said, once the full trailer leaked, I was like, all of that was gone. I did not care. I was like, oh my gosh. I watched the leak for like 20 minutes straight. Then, it just took the internet by storm. It was everywhere. I honestly heard about this trailer more than I did the Star Wars one, which was surprising. Like it was all over BuzzFeed, all over Facebook, all over everything. And it took everything by storm. And then, so with it being leaked, Zack Snyder put the high definition one on YouTube because you basically have to. He forced his hand.
Everyone already saw it anyway.
And oh my gosh! Yes! Yes!
He's passionate, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes! I'm so unbelievably excited for this movie.
Oh, man.
I've watched this trailer well over 40, 50 times, and it's still not old. The music, when Hans Zimmer and what's the DJ? I'm blanking on his name.
Just listen to our other episode we talked about, music episode.
I'm getting all fired up, so I'm forgetting names. But the DJ that's working with Hans Zimmer on this said that the soundtrack, we just finished mixing the soundtrack for the trailer, and it's badass. Yes, it is. It's so freaking awesome. It's loud, and it matches the mood. And I love that they started out with the statue of Superman coming up, and we hear all of these voices, and it's like they're playing off of Man of Steel so well, because that was the thing with Man of Steel too. After all the destruction stuff, and people are like, oh, that shouldn't have happened. It's like, well, give it a chance. Maybe they'll feed that. I totally called it, and I think that's what they're going to do. It's going to feed into the Dawn of Justice movie. So Superman is being viewed as either a god or a false god. Like there's this like philosophical question of like, should this man with so much power be on our planet? Some people like it, some people don't. I love that. It's so sweet. And then Batman shows up in the trailer. Oh my gosh. He is huge. And
you get a good look of Bruce Wayne as well.
Yes. And then Jeremy Irons, I just love the line in there. It's like, this is how it starts. The fear, the powerlessness. The way he pronounces it, it's just so great. It's what turns good men cruel. And that you know he's talking about Bruce. And I love that about Batman, because something snaps. And what is it? What is Superman doing? that's going to make him snap and turn cruel, like we saw in The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. And that man in that comic series is terrifying. And that's what Batman is supposed to be. And I know Sarah doesn't like that, but you know what? I don't care. And we saw this suit. Oh my gosh. I just finally feel like we are going to get Batman.
I think
finally
so.
going to see Batman in all of his glory. And the best part that's being quoted everywhere is when Superman's in the air, Batman's in his, like, war suit, whatever you want to call it, his Superman buster, so to speak. And you hear his voice, and the voice, I was like, I just hope he can get the voice right, because he's got the look down.
Well, it sounds modulated a little bit.
It is, but that's what it makes it deeper and more terrifying, which is exactly what Batman should be. Right. And he's just like, tell me, do you bleed? And then Superman just crashes down to the ground, and he's got this epic pose, like he's down in the, like he's just, look, both of them are huge, like it's just a straight out of the comics. And he says, "You will," and then boom, Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. I want to watch it again.
I don't know what's more entertaining, that trailer or your interpretation of the trailer.
Nick, tell us how you really feel.
That is how I feel. And I know that it's like I'm so involved with Batman when it's both their movies. But again, seen Superman. I love Superman from Man of Steel, and I'm sure he's going to be just fine. We'll see how that philosophical question that's being brought up plays into it. But I want Batman. I've been wanting Batman forever. I want the real Batman, and we're going to get it. I just
Wait,
know
Batman Forever?
No.
I want Batman forever.
No, you don't.
No, I appreciate it too, and I'm recalling your comment. I actually do really appreciate what they're doing with Batman. I'm not against Batman. He's not my favorite, as we were discussing before the show started. Not my favorite, but I do. I think they're doing a lot of justice with the film, and like I'm totally for justice. Yeah, I'm not so good at the Batman. Justice.
It's a good try.
Yeah, it's a nice try. Pathetic try. Anyway, no, and I've been a Superman fan since diaper days, and I'm excited. Not as excited as you, obviously, but
I also
I
like
see
how
this movie 40 times.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
We spent so much time wondering what he can do, but we haven't asked him what
That wasn't
he can
Neil
do.
deGrasse Tyson.
Well, that was someone else. But anyways, that was
He's
a
like,
good.
We're
quote.
talking about a being that changes the reality of what we think is in the universe or whatever.
And now I want to give a shout out to that one scene where Superman crashes down and you see all these soldiers on the ground and they're kneeling. And not only that, but they have his emblem on their shoulder. And for me, that was a really big turning point in the trailer where I was like, ooh, what's going on here? Like, what's happening with this dynamic? Is Superman getting power hungry? Are people just reacting to his power that way? Like, because it didn't seem like he was condemning that action. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I almost wonder if that's like a homage to the Injustice comic book series where Superman goes power hungry and turns into that totalitarian leader. And then go read that series. I'm not going to go through the whole thing.
Right.
But I just don't think it will. We honestly, I have to see what's going to happen with that because he could be getting a little power hungry. Otherwise, like you said, it could just be him being like, all right, I don't want you to worship me because that's not Superman. He doesn't want people to worship him. He just wants to help him. So he could just be like, guys, come on, stand up. Who knows? Maybe that'll be a little bit of the subtle humor, but I don't know. Hopefully
or maybe they have like opposing armies, or I don't even know.
We'll see. That's what I love about this. The new movie that's coming out is it's going to be philosophical.
As I've said before, I've always wondered why Batman was so against Superman, and like this trailer really made me realize what that like.
That dynamic.
The dynamic between them, and like it really got me pumped and excited, and everything is making sense now.
Yeah, one little thing that you did see, a little Easter egg, was graffitied onto the wall when Batman's looking up from like I don't know what that was. Was that a sewer bridge? Something I don't know.
I think it might be Arkham Asylum.
Might be that. On the wall graffiti there, though, you saw a little question mark.
The Riddler.
The Riddler. It looks like
it
a
wasn't a normal.
It's
question
not a
mark.
normal question mark, ladies and gentlemen.
It looked like a Riddler question mark.
question mark.
Yes. I don't know what it is, but unfortunately, people don't like this trailer. And I think it's just the DC thing that people need to get over because it's like, oh, it's so dark and stuff. And it's like, get over it. This is the universe that we're going into.
I feel like you're talking to me, Nick. I feel like you're talking to me in that.
No. Why?
Well,
No, but
'cause
other people do. You
No,
do represent some
there's
people.
I do,
so
I do.
many other
I know.
people.
There's a lot of people.
People did not
do.
like.
Just talk, Sarah. Just talk.
No, I'm not a DC. I'm not a huge DC fan. I'm gonna be straight up and honest with you. But I do appreciate this trailer, and I do appreciate how it's gonna be philosophical. And I'm gonna go buy a ticket. I might even buy two if it's
Everyone's
good. Like,
gonna see it.
I hope to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're not alone in that. You're not. You have every right to be, cautious of going into a DC movie because they haven't had the best track record with movies.
No.
But again, when people get so caught up in this, and I'm talking to you people over at the Screen Junkies show too, watching all these movie fights, Nick Mundy and Hal Rudnick, calling you out, man. Get over it. Get over it. They said DC is going to be edgier. It's going to be serious. I don't think that Man of Steel was that dark. It wasn't that.
It really
It wasn't
wasn't.
dark, but
really
it didn't
was
have
not that
the
dark.
humor element
it
that
It had
Marvel
the subtle
has.
humor.
It had the
And
subtle humor.
This is the thing, and I'm going to be writing a review. Actually, I think I might do video reviews. Heads up to you guys, but it's if you come remotely close to what Marvel's doing, you're going to get criticized for that too. They're just doing what the DC's got to catch up, so they're copying Marvel. No one's going to be happy. So I'd rather see them do this serious, quote unquote, darker, edgier universe than Marvel and do something different, stick with it, and follow through with it, than be like, oh shoot, well we got to catch up with Marvel. Why don't we just follow their stuff? It's successful. And it's like, don't do that. And you know what? This trailer, as dark as it is, there's a lot of color in it. People are like, oh, the colors are so watered down and it's so dreary and Man of Steel. No, not really. And look at the new, they've revamped the color of the suit on
Color
Superman
sells.
already. It's like, get over it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just like in comparison to the classic, like, oh, happy-go-lucky Superman saving the day of the old comics, like what people usually think of.
campy Superman.
It's like that. It's very dreary compared to that.
The Superman that we've all seen over and over and over again. Sorry if I'm excited to see something new, something more serious, and something they're still sticking, as Father Mike was talking about last week. Superman's still Superman. He's still saving people. He's still got that moral compass pointing north. And we'll see what happens in this new movie. But again, whatever, dude. Mm-hmm. Appreciate the movie for what it is. We're finally getting Batman and Superman in the same movie. Enjoy it.
Yeah, seriously.
Good gracious. Are you serious? I'm going to rant about this in one of my reviews. So
Okay. Well, then we'll move on to one of my most anticipated things of this last week, the Force Awakens trailer. Another teaser trailer. Not a full trailer.
But
teaser
it was
trailer.
much more
Oh
complete
my
than the first
gosh,
one.
Yes, it was. Yes, because the first one you saw glimpses and you're just like, what does this mean? It was a lot of black screen and voiceover.
Yeah.
And in this one you saw a lot more of what's going to happen. You open up and you see this desert planet and you hands left, you're following a speeder in the distance. Then there's a crash down X-Wing. And then it goes and pans over and you see this just towering thing. You're like, what is that? And then it's a Star Destroyer. That is the planet Jakku. That is what...
It's not Tatooine.
Not Tatooine, what everybody thought it was. It's the planet Jakku. That's what J.J. Abrams said on the panel at Star Wars Celebration. It's Jakku, and that's what Battlefront plays into. We're going to go... In Battlefront, the first DLC on December 8th is called the Battle of Jakku. And so you get to fight that last battle where this Star Destroyer and where that X-Wing came from back then. And then it goes into now, today. Then we hear Luke's voiceover, and you did hear like an echoey kind of undertone to it. It's like, my family is strong in the Force, is strong in the Force. You just hear that kind of in the background, and you're like, wait, what does that mean for Luke?
that's the Force speaking.
Anyways, and then you see Darth Vader's melted helmet, and you're like, oh my gosh. And it's on like a black pedestal, and you're like, I don't think Luke would have kept it on a black pedestal. Anyways, and then he says, I have it, and then you see a guy with a metal hand reach out and touch R2-D2. Most people thought that was Luke. It might not be Luke. We don't even know.
Oh, it's Luke.
You think so? Why is his hand like that? His hand wasn't all sleek and metallic like that. It was
improved technology over 20 years.
And he didn't look that old. If you look at Mark Hamill now, it didn't look like him.
I don't know.
That's true. I personally think that it's going to be about Luke's nephew. I have no basis for that. I just have a gut
Han
feeling.
and Leia's kid?
I think so. I think that would be a good direction. That's me, but I mean, I have no basis no proof.
Oh, so who are the main characters? There's like 3 main characters,
3 new
right?
main characters. There's Poe Dameron, who is the pilot who we get to see in his X-Wing. He's supposed to be the best pilot, a space cowboy is what they're calling him, and he's flying the new X-Wings.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Space cowboy.
And then we see Finn. We see the black stormtrooper Finn, who then it turns into a not stormtrooper.
He wasn't the guy from Rebels, was he?
No.
No, okay.
He was a different character.
Yeah.
And then we see Rey, who is the female with this land speeder, who's a scavenger, she said in a panel. So this is going to be mostly their story, but we see Luke's original lightsaber, or Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber,
or what appears to be his.
It's most people are pretty sure that it's his lightsaber, and it's given. That's when he says, "And my sister had the Force," or whatever, and it's handed to a female's hand, but they're young hands. They're definitely not Leia's now. We know that for sure, and it's a smaller hand that's giving it to her. People aren't sure if that's a child's hand or if that's an alien hand that gives it to her.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and then we see a bunch of other stuff. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the new droid.
BB-8, yes. They are running away from an explosion. Rey and Finn and BB-8 are running away. And BB-8 is a practical effect, like I said before. It's real. It's not CGI. That they actually roll it around and it actually bounces around the place.
If anyone hasn't seen him before, he looks like R2-D2, but like it's just like R2-D2 head and then a ball that it goes on.
Yeah. That's Ralph McQuarrie's original drawing of R2-D2, the concept art for it. They're putting that in.
It's cool that like technology has advanced to the point where we can actually make that come true.
Somebody who saw BB-8 and was like, "Oh, I want to make that," was Grant Imahara. They interviewed him at Star Wars Celebration. He's like, "I already ordered parts." He's like, "I've given myself a month to make it," and he knows how. He's like, super magnets is how they do it. So that was really cool. But then we also see Rey, Daisy Ridley's character, holding a staff when she's running away. We're like, if her life is in danger, why would she be carrying a staff while running? We don't know what that is. I know Christian Harloff thinks that it's Darth Plagueis' staff from the toy, and I'm like, that's such an absurd speculation. It does look like it. I give you that, but I mean,
the toy,
right? Exactly. Not even the official canon toy. There was no official canon toy because we haven't seen Darth Plagueis. But
so many questions.
I know. And then we see Kylo Ren, the Krallet with the broad saber. He slashes down, and then we also see him turn, and he's with stormtroopers. We know he's part of the Empire, or what I think they're calling the First Order. I think that's what it's been called on the panels.
Because it's not an empire. The Empire got taken down, right?
Yeah.
So this is its
revamped.
Yeah, it's rebirth in a way. It doesn't look like it's quite as powerful, but it's still a force to be reckoned with.
Mm-hmm. We also see the new stormtroopers, the full thing of the new stormtroopers. They look sick. We also see new TIE fighters who have white wings instead of black, and they're black color instead of the gray.
Very reflective as well.
We also see one scene where somebody's in an X-Wing, a TIE fighter, and they are shooting in another hangar of TIE fighters, and you see stormtroopers flying and stuff. And all of that it's practical effects. All of them are practical effects, and that's the big thing. It's not CGI as much. That's what they're going for.
That part really reminded me of the fourth or fifth
the
movies.
Original trilogy, yeah. Oh, that's so nice to have practical effects back again because it's been lost for so long. Just seeing that makes me kind of look at Ant-Man and go, oh, man. I mean, it would have been so hard to make Ant-Man without CGI.
Yeah, exactly. But
they did it with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
They did.
How that would hold up now, I'm not so sure.
Big surprise.
But, oh my gosh.
You can't really compare Ant-Man to, The Force Awakens, but I mean, if you want to.
Then we see the Millennium Falcon flying, being chased by a TIE fighter into another down ship on Jakku, and it's going into like the back thrusters of it, and it's kind of a throwback to the episode 6 when they're flying in the Death Star, and it's so good. And then we see the Chrome Trooper. Oh my gosh, that looks so cool.
Another thing that Screen Junkies had pointed out was that everyone, all the Empire or whatever, First Order they're called or whatever, they have like red in them now.
So is like Kylo Ren and the Sith kind of controlling that? Is there another person that we don't know? Like why? What does the red symbolize?
The Chrome Trooper, does he have like a line on his helmet or what?
No,
Was
I think
he
that's
have?
actually reflections.
His it's just like the room around him is red, but some other
the
people.
pilot is also a Chrome Trooper, and I think, and the red that they see on the mask, I think that's just a reflection of the cockpit around him. I don't actually think that.
But it's definitely a color in their like
palette.
Yeah.
But then the final scene of the trailer is opens up and it's you just hear Chewie, and then we see Chewie and Han Solo with their guns pointed, and Han Solo's just like, "We're home." And they're in the Millennium Falcon. You definitely can tell that they're in the Millennium Falcon. Looking at, they also released the first part of like the Force for Change, I think it was the fundraiser that they did, where they had one fan and a friend be in the movie, and they showed the Millennium Falcon, and I saw the exact part where they were standing. So that is definitely the Millennium Falcon that they're on. But one of the questions I had is, who are they pointing their guns at?
Exactly.
And also looks like BB-8 like pokes his head around maybe the Millennium Falcon or maybe another ship in the trailer as well. So, I mean, I'm almost positive that Daisy Ridley's character Rey and Finn, John Boyega's Finn, they go on to the Millennium Falcon and they meet up with Han Solo. And all of this, though, might only be the first 20 minutes of the movie. It looks like it might be.
It definitely is only just a small section. You can tell.
I think that if you piece that all together, it's just the beginning part of the movie. And that's incredible because I want to see the rest of it.
It's kind of a bold speculation, though.
I mean, you think about it, because we see Finn in his Stormtrooper outfit with, like... So Kylo Ren might be striking down somebody, because you see a big crowd when he turns around and, like, force chokes somebody. And then you're like, okay, maybe he had a discrepancy with Kylo Ren and got, like, blood on his helmet or something, and he doesn't want to be a Stormtrooper anymore. And then he goes on to Jakku, where he's being chased by the First Order or whatever. And then Daisy Ridley's character, Rey, finds him. They team up. Then they go onto the Millennium Falcon. And that's basically the entire trailer.
And the chase with the Millennium Falcon is them trying to escape.
Right.
Possibly.
The Chrome Trooper, possibly, or whatever it is. I think the only other part that's not the beginning part is the Poe Dameron in the X-Wings. I think that's the only part outside of it, the beginning.
But this is just speculation.
Speculation, again. We don't know.
No proof.
Right.
Swimming in speculation.
I'm so excited, though. This is going to be so nice.
I think everybody is. They did such a great job of incorporating like past Star Wars movies, and they needed to do that. But they have just enough new information, just enough old for all the reminiscent, and oh my goodness.
And this seems to be based on artifacts a lot, like old artifacts, like Darth Vader's helmet, Luke's lightsaber, and then we see the staff. We also see Kylo Ren's lightsaber, and also he has what seems to be Darth Revan's mask, who is not canon anymore. He was in the Old Republic, but he was planned to be canon.
He may be canon, but just not canon in the same way that it was originally
intended.
Yeah.
Right. He was intended to be canon in the Clone Wars, but they never actually got to that point before the series got cut. So, I mean, he might be a relic hunter. We don't know. Daisy Ridley Rey is a scavenger. So, a lot of things about artifacts. It's cool. I'm really looking forward to it. It had 88 million views in the first day.
You're kidding.
The trailer had 88 million views.
Did you see the Matthew McConaughey reaction?
From his Interstellar
from Interstellar.
It was like a reaction video.
Well, my favorite part about this trailer, I kind of like the first teaser more.
Really?
To be honest.
Why?
Really?
I just thought like it's playing more off of emotions too. It's like haven't seen Star Wars in forever. So when we got to see, and they just showed more new stuff, like the new lightsaber. I was like, whoa, and then they showed like the Millennium Falcon. They showed, I don't know. They just
That was one new thing,
You
Nick.
named everything that was also in this trailer. Though.
I know, but that came first. So why wouldn't I be?
Right. But I'm saying that they actually show you more of it because they
Yeah,
show
they show more, but not more.
Well, the first trailer showed you.
But I think that your feelings are being too tied closely because that was the first that we got to see of real Star Wars again.
Yeah, I
was
know.
that first trailer. I'm saying that you should like this one more because it shows you more.
Well, I'm saying that you can't make me do anything.
I didn't show you the cool new TIE fighters in the
They're
first
new?
one. The new TIE fighters.
Yeah, they look the same.
No,
but
they
the
have
TIE, I mean the
white
TIE
wings
fighter.
instead of-
Okay.
And
I'm
they're
sorry.
important.
You didn't see
It's
this.
important.
You
I
didn't get to
love
see the
TIE fighters.
stormtrooper.
They're like besides those. You hate those things, the hyena droids or whatever. Those.
Oh yeah.
I think those are just sweet.
Well, no, I don't.
And
hate
I
them,
like the
just-
TIE
I
fighters
don't
are
like
sweet too. Those are like my favorite ships. So like I got to see those. I don't know. Again, you guys are crazy Star Wars nerds compared to I am. But I love the new Stormtrooper looks. I love the Chrome Trooper. And between the two trailers, I just like the way this film looks. J.J. Abrams' film style is just, it's fun to watch.
Hey,
it's
did we-
captivating to the eye.
Did we notice any lens flares?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
This
I
is
didn't
looking good.
notice an obscene amount of lens flares, so not going to be as bad as Star Trek. Hopefully, with the lens
Not that
flare.
Star Trek was bad, but
No, just the lens flare part of it I'm talking. It's a little over the top. But no, I like how both of these trailers though, and like this Batman versus Superman, I think those trailers are so much better than the Avengers trailers. I think they're
Because they
so
released
much better.
90% of the movie.
Right. The Avengers shows way too much. These ones, again, they don't show as much. We don't know what's going on yet.
yeah,
That's
But
why
they
we can
show
speculate.
enough. But no, both of these movies are going to be just tremendous, awesome, and box office juggernauts. Crazy huge.
It's gonna be a good time to be a fan.
Oh, it's a wonderful time to be a fan. And if you want to look more towards what movies are coming up, again, watch our second episode or listen to our second episode because we talk about all of that, and it's so good. It's so exciting. Guys, go check it out. Moving on to our main topic, though, we talked a lot about those trailers. Main topic right now, Sarah's going to talk to us about it because we don't know anything.
hey,
They
I
don't
know a
know
little
anything.
bit. I know a little
we
bit.
know a little bit.
I saw him Googling Doctor Who a little bit, so he might know a little bit. But anyway, so I'm going to talk about Doctor Who. I have become a Whovian. I've been a Whovian for a couple years now. When I first started watching Doctor Who, I thought it was really cheesy. And, I mean...
Tacky is the word I would
Tacky,
use.
yes. But I like it. I think that, it has a class to it. So the origin of it is that...
British.
It's British, so let's be honest.
You
BBC.
get class.
BBC is just on the rise right now. But so it started out as this horror TV show for little kids. Like that's what Doctor Who was meant to be. And you see this old doctor with his granddaughter and a companion, and they fight aliens, and it was supposed to be super spooky for little kids, but the fandom just grew and grew and grew and grew, and eventually their doctor got a little too old to be able to play him anymore, so they were like, well, I don't want to cancel the show, let's let him regenerate. So regeneration, I'd love to go into that. So
1 second.
Yes.
How old is the TV show? When did it start?
50 years ago.
Oh my God.
It started
Yeah, late
50 years ago.
60s.
Wow.
So it is a classic. It has a lot of history to it. It's been here throughout the ages. It's part of our media history, and it's a shame if you haven't watched it.
Yeah,
Well,
the-
most
me.
of the fandom is
In
of the
Britain,
recent- no of the show is of the recent revamp or whatever.
Right.
David Tennant. They got a lot of new fans from David Tennant because he was in Harry Potter and got to
Along
go with
half
that.
the population of Britain.
Yeah. So
Celebrities.
Yeah, the original Doctor Who started in 1963, and that kept going until, let's see, the 70s.
yeah, so it went to
What
the
was it?
8th Doctor. So the 1st through 8th Doctor was the first series, and then BBC revamped it with Christopher Eccleston, the 9th Doctor. And Christopher Eccleston, as any Whovian will tell you, is one of the most underrated doctors of the series.
This is the Doctor that I first watched Doctor Who And
Yes.
I really enjoyed them
It was
actually.
a really cool series. We watched about probably like 3
Most of the
episodes.
first season. I watched like at least
There-
7. I
There's
think.
so much to love. There's so much to
remember,
love.
like,
He
3
brings that detective, like dark bad boy kind of vibe, but it's like he's still sassy. He's still happy. And they're fighting like Daleks, if you want to call it like that.
The calcium monsters.
Calcium monsters, fat monsters. No, I think that's what you meant. The fat monsters, or
Well, they are made with calcium because they used some sort of acid to. They didn't like something.
oh yeah.
I don't
So-
know. I forgot what the substance was.
Anyways,
Anyway, there's so much to love, and you get to meet Rose, and Rose is the best companion. And I know there's some people at home screaming right now because I said that, but that's okay, because Rose is the best companion of the series. She's one of the only, well, not the only, but one of the biggest romantic companions the Doctor ever has, and she becomes Bad Wolf. And if you guys don't know what that means, please just go watch the series. You need to watch. Oh, okay. So I'm going to go back. I was explaining what Doctor Who is about. Doctor Who is this Time Lord. So a Time Lord is an alien, and he has 2 hearts, a sonic screwdriver, and a love of all life. So his point is to go around the universe. He can travel through space and time, and he goes to different planets, different times, and he pretty much just saves the day from utter destruction. Although there's one underlying theme throughout everything he does. You never know his name. So nobody knows the name of the Doctor other than the fact.
Hey, I thought it was who?
Yeah.
Doctor Who?
Yes.
Wait,
he's-
they don't call him Doctor Who?
is it with a question mark? Or
they
a
call him the
period?
Doctor. The Doctor.
Oh, yes.
The Doctor. No, but you never know his
British
actual name.
accents from now on.
Except for River Song, you know what's his name, but she never tells the audience what it is. And then you learn later on in, I think, season. I don't know what season you find this out, but you find out that he was from the planet of Gallifrey.
No.
And, yes. That's his home planet, the planet of the Time Lords. And what you know is that there's this great war between the Daleks and the Time Lords, and it was going to destroy all of the universe. This horrible, horrible battle, because they can both travel through time. So they were going to destroy absolutely everything in existence. So what the Doctor did was he destroyed both races. He found a way to, you find this out in one of the most recent seasons, but he destroyed both races in just total genocide. And he was the only survivor. So this is why he does what he does. He stole this thing called the TARDIS, which allows him to travel through space and time. And
Which just happens to look like
a police box, because it's the coolest thing ever. And then I'm
a
sorry, I'm
tourism
biased.
plug.
So you have this guy who's seen war for I don't know how many lifetimes, and he travels and he saves lives, and most of it is like he seems like this really lighthearted, happy guy who likes to go and fight things without any violence, but deep down it's because he destroyed everyone he loved and all the Daleks, and they still survived, obviously, because they come back in later seasons, but it's a cool dynamic. It's really, really interesting.
I wish I picked him for my non-Avengers Avengers team.
Well, you didn't, and you lost.
He is. He has 12 regeneration, so there is a limit, but he finds a way around that in later seasons. Spoiler alert.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
I was totally gonna watch all of them.
But yeah, and then
I was
so
going to ask about that. Well, how does that work then? So is it just like
when he's just about to die, his cells get a bunch of energy, and it's like this big, flaming, spectacular view, and then he has a new face, and he can either be old, he can be, I don't know, different color hair, although he's never ginger. He make a point that he never ever gets to be ginger. It's funny, and he gets a whole new personality, a whole new vibe, and that's why it's really interesting to see Doctor from Doctor. Like every single time a Doctor dies and a new Doctor comes, a little part of me dies.
Same, though? Are they the same personality?
No, they're completely different personality. They have the same consciousness. Does that make
so
sense?
They
They have the same.
remember
They have the same memories.
The same memories,
so
the
then
same.
the
They.
love relationship remains,
Oh,
except
it's
you're not
interesting.
my man.
No, I mean the Doctor falls in love. Like I said, he falls in love with Rose. Rose. I'm
Could the
never
doc-
gonna get over Rose. And then he also marries River Song later on. So he has multiple love connections, but and his it's hard to explain. His personality changes, but he always remembers the memory in which it occurred. So he remembers how David Tennant felt about blah 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 blah.
Did they reference that?
They do. You know, you just gotta watch. At the end of, hang on, let me look it up.
Could
They
the
do.
doctor go back in time and talk to his previous self?
Thank you for mentioning
Oh,
that.
that's a good
That is against the rules of time travel. You can't do that. You can't mess with your own timeline because
Is that a rule, as in it could be done and broken? Or...
he would destroy the universe in doing that.
Oh,
So
all right. Well,
don't do that. Rose tries to mess with her own timeline in one episode, and it does not happen. It's not good. But yeah, there is one point where the doctors get to work together, which is really, really cool.
Really?
Without crossing his own timeline. It's very interesting. You'll just have to, that's a sneak peek to help you get motivated to watch the show. And yeah, mostly I just wanted to get the point across that it's a dark TV show, so it's supposed to be scary. Some episodes make you not want to turn the lights off at night. It's like,
Hey, who turned out the lights?
who turned out?
Oh yeah, that was. I remember that episode.
They're spooky and they're dark, and especially when you get into David Tennant, gets really spooky. And David Tennant, he's most people's favorite doctor just because
Which one is it?
David Tennant, that's Dr. Ten.
Is he the bald one?
No.
No.
Is he,
He
the
was
one
the
with
one that
He
was
was the one
hair?
from Harry Potter.
What was his name in Harry Potter? Here, let's
He's
look
the
at it.
small
He's this
one?
one. We're showing him a picture right now, ladies
The one that
and
looks
gentlemen.
like Richard Hammond from...
The attractive one, in my opinion.
Okay.
No,
That's the famous one.
the famous one, yes. And he's the one that gained most of the fan base.
Just by seeing pictures, I always see pictures of the other one, not the bald one, but
Matt
the one
Smith?
with
The 11th Doctor.
the hair.
Yeah, Matt Smith, the hair, yeah. No, I love Matt Smith. He has a special place in
Didn't
my
he
heart.
have like a scarf or something they usually wore? Who am I
No,
thinking
no,
of?
Matt Smith always wears a bow tie. That's his signature trait. David Tennant doesn't really have much other than, I don't know.
Okay, so we were talking about a lot of doctors. Where would be a good place to start?
To start, thank you for bringing that up. It depends on the person. I would say start with David Eccleston. Oh, not David Eccleston. Oh my
Start with
goodness.
like the reboot in a way.
Yeah,
Not
start with the Ninth Doctor. Just because then you get to meet Rose. I think Rose is a really important. She is important to the Whovian universe. Even in modern episodes, she's important. You need to know her backstory. You need to know her, and then you're just gonna appreciate every new Doctor so much more with that. And you can start with Matt Smith. I mean, he's great. I love him, but you're gonna miss David Tennant.
You probably don't want to start out with.
Don't start out with David Tennant because that's just confusing.
Or the first Doctor from 1963. I mean,
No,
that'd be a
don't do
little
that.
rough.
I tried to watch all the old episodes, and it's just, if I had the time, I would. But then, I mean, the effects are just really bad. Like they were made in the 60s. It's just it's bad. It's bad filming. But I mean, for the time, it was good. It's just it's hard. It's really difficult. But you can still get all the information in the newest episodes, so it's really cool. And it's really interesting to see all the different aliens that they have. Like, they have so many villains that portray a new thing. My favorite villain is the Weeping Angel. Have you ever heard of him? All right, so I'll just give a quick rundown of Weeping Angel. Weeping Angel is a statue. It's a living statue. Okay, I'm getting really excited now. It's a living statue, and what happens is while you're looking at it, it's just a statue. It's just stone. That's all it is. But if you turn away, it can kill you in second. Well, it doesn't necessarily kill you. It drains your energy from your time vortex and transports you to a different time so that you die out in a different time. And they get all your energy that way. Really, really scary. Completely terrifying. So there are these angels as if you're staring at them, they can't move. But as soon as you turn away or as soon as you blink, then they can attack you. They're terrifying. Go look up a picture of them. They're just awfully terrifying.
Interesting.
Wait, well, okay,
Yeah.
so what were these called again?
The Weeping Angels.
Now, is this a show that I can jump into episode to episode, or are they in succession?
Succession, definitely. You don't want to go out of
come in,
order.
like,
You
spurts,
can.
don't they? Like some, there's like a series. They're like 3 episodes at a time, are kind of like the same storyline sometimes.
Yeah. I mean,
It depends.
it depends on the episode, definitely, but I would go in order. That's how you're going to get the most
I mean,
out of
that's
it.
what I would do.
Yeah.
These things are creepy.
Yeah, they're
I
creepy.
think
They're,
I remember seeing
like I
these at
said,
one point.
this TV show is not for little kids anymore. Or if it is, they're definitely not sleeping at night because it's scary for me.
Very interesting.
You also have Cybermen. Cybermen are humans who they wanted to create the perfect human being, and the only way to do that was to get rid of emotions. So they're this
It's
human-
the giver.
it's like a human brain inserted into a robot's body, and they realized that any conscious human brain would hate themselves so much if they didn't have their body that they decided to get rid of all emotion. So now they're these like twisted, evil, maniacal human beings.
Yeah.
They look like the original robots that were made back in like the
Yeah,
50s
they're
or whatever.
like I said. I don't even think the
Blockhead,
quality
sort
got
of.
that
Well,
much better in the
they-
years.
they
They're
got
pretty poor
rounded.
quality, but they're
The
good.
episodes that I've seen is like, this is what everyone's raving about.
It's an acquired taste. I'd say that Doctor Who is a very acquired taste, but once you go Who, you don't go back. I mean,
My girlfriend's sister is obsessed with it, and my girlfriend just started it not too long ago. I'm not quite sure where she is on it now, but the episodes that I did watch with her, I was like, okay.
It's one of those-
It's
yeah.
It's tacky.
I think it depends on the story arc too. Just a little
Yeah.
bit, maybe.
I mean, it does. It's an acquired taste, like I said. When I started watching with Christopher Eccleston, it was really cheesy. Like I said, it's not very dark. It was weird. It took me about 10 episodes, but like I said, you start to appreciate it more from episode to episode when you see the development of the Doctor. Because like I said, he has this awful, awful, tragic backstory, and how that affects him going later on. Like one Doctor tries to just like revert to his childhood to forget what he did, and then one of them gets so like depressed and heartbroken by what he does that it's like it affects him so greatly. That's David Tennant. Matt Smith is the child, and I just love Matt Smith. It's hard. It's heartbreaking to watch some of those episodes. If you watch the regeneration episode of David Tennant, like when he regenerates, everybody cries. It's a line that lives in infamy.
So we have Matt Smith, David Tennant, and the other one with the big nose.
Okay, Christopher Eccleston was the 9th. David Tennant is the 10th.
The
Matt
hot
Smith,
one.
yeah, and Matt Smith
The
is
one with the bow tie.
the one with the bow tie.
Okay.
He's the 11th.
Yeah. And now everybody's in a big hype because the newest Doctor is old.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
It looks
No,
like
it is not Benedict
it
Cumberbatch.
reminds me of like a serious Bill Nye.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you
Without
could
the bow
say
tie.
that. I mean,
So people don't like that? Because they
Peter
don't have a
Capaldi-
heartthrob anymore, or what?
yeah, it's because in the past, the past 3 Doctors have been youthful and energetic and all that. And I mean, he's still energetic. I appreciate him, but they made it a big point that they don't want Whovians to like Doctor Who because of like a pleasing anesthetic face. No, it's because of like the deeper meaning behind it. It's because of the adventure, and he brings like a really cool dynamic to Doctor Who. I like it a lot.
So we're looking at 2 more seasons then, potentially.
Potentially. Yeah.
But you said there's a way around the 12.
Oh no. Okay, so they already got Pat. So a Doctor can like go beyond 1 season. Does that make sense? So like David Tennant had
I
like I don't
gotcha.
know 2 or 3
Okay.
seasons. So they've already reached the 12th Doctor, and I won't give away how they get around it
All right.
because it's pretty cool.
Thank
But yeah,
I'm
Interesting.
super excited to start watching it now. Just
you really
just from
should.
listening to you.
You should be because
I think I'm more interested in it now after you saying that it's kind of a horror element, or has the horror
It does.
element to it.
it really does. It's not like
It's kind of like Scooby Doo, but like those scary episodes of Scooby Doo where you
So-
actually got
but
scared.
it's action. It's very
So
and-
like a time traveling X-Files sort of thing? Would that
sort
be?
of, but he never uses weapons. Like he's really, really against ever using a weapon, so he never actually attacks people, which is really cool. He uses his brain and
I'm gonna love this show.
Yeah, his go-to thing is that he never has a plan when he's going into like battle, but he's like, I'll just figure it out when I get there, and he always does, which is great. And it's also really hard because like sometimes his companions die, so he almost always has a companion. And not all of them die. Some of them grow old and marry each other and stuff, but
and get decrepit and just we don't want to watch them anymore.
It's hard because it's because like it's hard because the Doctor always outlives his companions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it brings that pain with it. Like,
Yep.
it's got so many elements. It's got so much emotion. Like, Doctor Who.
It's
Doctor
got
Who.
all the emotion.
So much emotion makes you want to cry.
I really want to watch the David Eccleston again.
You know, yeah, I'm a fan.
And then like go beyond that because I kind of just like lost it after.
I want to start, and I want to talk about this when we do watch it. I want to talk about more because.
And the thing is, with every Doctor, whenever a Doctor regenerates, you're always just so heartbroken by the fact that they left that every single new one, you're just like, I hate them. I hate them. They're going to ruin Doctor Who.
So you get to learn to love a new character every single time.
You have to learn to love, and then every single time by the fifth episode, every single time you're like, okay, maybe he's pretty cool too. But for the first 4 episodes, you're just like, I don't care what you do. I'm just gonna hate you because you replaced my Doctor. But it's good. It's like I said, it's always a roller coaster with Doctor Who. I mean, I don't understand. They have 50 years and they still make it so new every single time. They even reintroduce like old enemies, but they make every plot so unique. Ugh, Doctor Who.
It's awesome.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
Who?
Oh.
Who? Is that a joke on the show?
Sometimes.
They better.
And also, I forgot one of the coolest things, the TARDIS.
Oh yeah, we have to like talk about all his tools.
Yes, okay, so the TARDIS. The thing about the TARDIS that is the coolest is probably that, you know, on the outside it looks like a police box. It's like a skyscraper on the inside.
Oh, really?
Does that make sense? So it's bigger on the
I mean,
inside.
I've seen that it's bigger. I didn't know how big. Though.
Yeah, it's the size of a skyscraper. Kind of cool. And then, yeah, so that's pretty cool. The TARDIS is like a living thing. He's actually like in one episode, he's like sexually attracted to his TARDIS when it has a body, which is kind of funny.
That's weird.
Yeah. It's part of a Matt Smith thing. It's entertaining. I thought it was pretty funny. It's really weird. It's okay, but guys are like attracted to their cars and they name it. So it's like
Not me.
Quite that.
he names it, he like calls it you sexy thing, you, and it's funny. I thought it was really cute because it was Matt Smith, but I mean, who am I? Who? Anyway, you also have his sonic screwdriver, which is a screwdriver. It can open doors. It can do a lot of things. It can convert technology. It can fix things. It's never really used as a weapon though. Like he never carries a gun. He makes a point never to carry a gun. And no other weapons other than that. So it's pretty much just, it's him, a screwdriver, and a blue box, and travels around the universe. One of my favorite quotes by Matt Smith is, "You can never apply logic to Who. You just can't do it."
That's great.
Yeah, it doesn't work. And his whole point is time to us is like a straight line, but for him it's more like wobbly, gobbly, wishy-washy stuff. And it's like all in a big ball of time and space. It's good. It's lighthearted but scary. It has all the elements that you want. Yeah.
Putting it on the list.
Keeps me coming back every time. So.
Sweet.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. That was our episode this week. We talked about trailers and Doctor Who. So much exciting stuff.
Yes.
So much
very
stuff that you need to go watch right now. Unless you're going to listen to another one of our episodes, then just write it down in your random fandom notebook. There will be a quiz at the end of this year. So
A random fandom quiz.
That'll draw in all the fans.
yeah, I know, right?
Homework.
No homework, just the quiz.
Just the quiz.
All right. Well, a special thanks to
Thank
Sarah
you,
for
Sarah.
coming in.
Thank
She's
you.
going to come in and talk about Lord of the Rings with me
The Silmarillion and
and the Lord of the Rings.
the Lord of the Rings. I love them
The whole
both.
shebang. So she'll be back. But yeah, thanks for coming
thank
in.
you so
Thank
much
you
for
for
coming on.
letting me on the show. It was great.
It was awesome.
All right, everybody, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, follow, share, and please comment. We want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, seriously, we haven't gotten any.
Besides your mom.
It was our mom and then our younger brother was like, "You forgot Crystal version." And I'm like, "No, we didn't. It's the second generation." All technical. So, besides my family, please comment.
Yes.
Please.
I think we talk about some pretty interesting stuff, and we want to hear from you. We really do.
We know that we get a lot of these topics from other people, and we hear what they say, and we're like, no, we think of something different. We don't think the same.
And if you do comment, you'll get a shout out. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll say your name unless you don't want it said.
There you go.
All right, everybody.
right.
Good episode. I'm going to go watch the Batman vs. Superman trailer 12 more times. But I have been
then Doctor Who.
Nick Vittorio, the ring bearer.
I've been Matt Muich, the Holocron Keeper.
And I'm, and I'm Josh Mulich, the Smash Hero.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm Sarah Welly, the guest.
All right, everybody. Goodbye.
Peace.